This is how it all began. I first met him in a transitional school I was going to attend after high school. I tried it, don't like it, and I don't intend to go back. The only reason why I even wanted to go in the first place was because he was there. Long chestnut hair and his eyes absolutely positively gorgeous. I had to take a boarding tour of the school. It's very small, no bigger than an elementary school actually. In fact, I think most elementary schools are bigger than this place. The people there are all stupid. It's basically a high school dropout paradise. I, of course, am not a high school dropout. It basically seems like the place that rejects would go to get educations, though. For mentally challenged kids and such. I don't fit that bill very much, so the program didn't pertain to me. Teaching us how to cook pasta, how to bake cookies? Seriously? Do I seem like I'm dumb enough to need anything like that? I'm never going to need someone to take care of me all my life like a lot of these kids are. The only reason why I was even asked to go is because I'm legally blind. That's my only problem. I really don't need help with anything else. I can survive college on my own. I'll just have to ask for my own accommodations. But enough about that. Back to him. He was quite gorgeous, very, very beautiful, and his talent unmeasurable. In fact, his art seems to match his looks. Gorgeous yet mysterious. I talked to him for some time. Turns out we were the same things. Otakus. We loved anime. And we loved Japanese culture and things like that. It wasn't long before I wasn't able to talk to him, though. Classes had to move on, or what they called class anyway. They had this lame thing there called movement, which is basically a retard's version of PE. Hey, I know it sounds mean, but I never said I was going to be kind in this book, did I? Anyways, I watched him the entire time and I smiled ear to ear, and I finally decided to ask him, can I give you my email? He says, yeah, sure. And I asked for his Facebook, and he said that that was okay too. I had wanted to date him, but I didn't know much about him. The person I was traveling with, my vision service helper, well, what if he has a girlfriend? I said, oh, I wouldn't be surprised. A few months later, I was at what they would like to call, I'm too embarrassed to talk about it. It was a dumb event. It, basically, kindergartners could have done a good job at these events, and they were nothing but child play. How to sort laundry, how to file something? What? This place was nothing more than an insult to my intelligence. Just because I'm legally blind doesn't mean I'm stupid. A lot of these kids were technically, politically, autistic, and retarded, and lots of other things were wrong with them, like their motor skills weren't correct. Don't get me wrong, there were kids there who didn't have any of those problems who were just like me, recommended that program, and they didn't go back. There was one of my friends there who was on crutches, perfectly smart girl. She just has, well, I don't think she'd want me to talk about that, but she just has problems walking. There's nothing else wrong with her. I was sitting there waiting for them to announce who'd won what prize and what boring crap. I I was mesmerized and I was bored. I was really ready to go. I really wanted to get back to school. I looked to my left and I was playing with something, and I'm not exactly sure how this conversation started. I said hello to this girl who was sitting next to me, and she said hi. And we got on the topic of anime and Hello Kitty, and she loved the same things as me. The girl's name was Usagi-chan. I can't tell you her real name. You understand why. Usagi-chan and me started talking, and she said she attended the school that I was looking at. I said, did you know a student named Kitsune-kun? She says, yeah, why? He's my boyfriend. My whole world at that point started to shatter, but I had to keep things together. I didn't want her to be suspicious. I said, oh, that's nice, and she replies, why, did you have a little crush on him? I decided that the best route was to lie. I was not about to get into a catfight with a girl that I had never met before in my life over a boy that I realistically probably wouldn't see again. I'm sure you all have those friends that you say you'll contact them later, but later never really comes. Or, something like that. And I really didn't think he was interested in spending more time with me. How was I supposed to know that? I didn't know that there was to be more to be done with the situation with me and him. I really didn't know that there was a future in me talking to this guy. So since I figured I'll never run into either of them again, I mean, what are the chances that he'll actually call or Facebook me? I told her, no, I just like the way you drew. She says, yeah, he's a talented artist. But then another bombshell hits. My mother's forced me to break up with him, though. I said, oh, I'm sorry about that. And all of a sudden, my happiness was actually overcome with sympathy. Unrelenting sympathy, actually. I felt bad. I kind of know what it's like from past experiences to be torn away from the one you love by your own mother. Even though the one my mother tore me away from, she did it for my own safety and my own good. And even though knowing this, I still sometimes miss this person. It's unhealthy, I know. But this person and me have so much in common, it's scary. I know what it's like to be torn away from someone. He was somebody that I liked a lot and I cared about a lot, but he was a hazardous to my health. So my mom saw no other recourse than to split us up. I guess looking at it, it was good. His rage problems were too bad. But this didn't stop me from using him as a scapegoat. I said, I have a boyfriend. Now, my boyfriend that I had before was Korean, but I can't tell you his name either. We'll just call him Jason. I said Jason would murder me if I was looking at other boys. Not literally. He was possessive, but not in the haha, I'll kill you if you look at another man sense. And she says, well, I really hope we can get back together soon because I'm really sad without him. And me and her continued to talk more, and I really found myself hoping that things would actually work out for them. I really honestly was hoping that they might get back together. I didn't think I had a right to interfere in the relationship. I mean, God only knows how long these two were dating anyway. I can't just be that stupid chick that comes along and tries to snatch another girl's guy. What kind of person would that make me? A bad person, that's what kind. And I wasn't going to do something like that. I mean, I've been responsible for ruining girls' love lives in high school when I was asked to. I remember one time being asked to break a couple up, and I did. And I caused so much pain, and I won't be a part of something that awful again. So I've decided that I won't be standing in anyone's way. The work Olympics ended, and I went home feeling a little bit guilty for liking him in the first place. I should have known he was taken. I mean, guys like this are never free. You ever see a guy and you can tell right off the bat that he has a girlfriend? Yeah, like that. Or you ever see a girl and you can tell right off the bat that she would have a boyfriend? Like that. It's just no possible way that they are single. It's sort of like seeing, it's like you know someone's about to get married because you see them in a wedding gown or a tux. Like that obvious. So it was pretty hard for me to not feel bad about what I was thinking. I really wanted to be with him, but I thought if he was already trying to repair a relationship with another girl, then I shouldn't interfere. I added him on Facebook, and strangely enough, we started talking. He called me one day, and me and him talked forever about anime, and we were just laughing over the phone. I was always so happy when I heard from him. And strangely enough, very depressed when I didn't get text returns or calls returned. I mean, I wanted to stop liking him so much because I didn't want to become OCD because I knew that he was possibly still working on a relationship with another girl. The first time me and him met up, it was at the mall. It was very, very hot outside. And, well, I had been advised by other people not to go. The thing is, the society doesn't appreciate difference. They just want to see the same crap over and over and over again. They don't appreciate any kind of individuality. It's always got to be rehashed pop bullshit. It's never, no one ever appreciates originality anymore. No one appreciates difference anymore. That's why people like Don Henley and Lady Gaga and other, people who just aren't in the box are always persecuted. They're called flashy, fake, and whatever because it's not what we're used to seeing. Anyways, I had a nice time with him at the mall. I bought a Hello Kitty bento box. He laughed at me. We were at his house watching anime, and he showed me some cool stuff in his room. He has a lot of swords and weaponry in his room. I smiled, and I didn't really want to ask him anything about the girl I had met. I had decided that that was none of my business. So me and him talked. He takes out this long lotus stuff, and I try to touch it. He pulls it away, and he quickly wraps it back up. I said, oh, I'm sorry. He says, no, it's fine. I'm just really paranoid about that, because he has to go through purification processes for all of them. It was so much fun, and me and him had planned to meet again. We we were planning on meeting again, but it kept getting canceled because of things that were popping up, my family events and everything and such like that. Plus, I had become closer to his ex-girlfriend on Facebook. Me and her started talking a lot. We began talking a lot about just different things like relationships and such, and I told her about this stalker at school who was hopelessly after her, and even though he had been told that he was unwanted, he still continued to stalk her. Let's just call him, I'm trying to think of a name. Let's call him Creeper. Yeah, I know that sounds mean, but that's exactly what he is. Creeper wasn't accepting the fact that she didn't like him, and he was even angry at me for even considering going somewhere with Kitsune Kun. But I didn't really care what he thought. She was upset because he was being bashed, and she continued to talk to me. Weeks and weeks went on with me and her being friends, and me and him being friends, and me and him talking, until one day she gives me great news on Facebook. Me and Kitsune Kun are to be reunited. My mother said we could get back together. I typed, "I'm so happy for you," even though inside, I think I may have been dying. But I decided that I could take one approach. I could take two approaches. Well, one of two approaches. I could be bitter and angry and scare the both of them away from me like Creeper did to Tiffany, or I could be happy for them and support their relationship and be friends with both. I chose option number 2. Things went on for a while and I watched them join like a happy couple, kiss and coo and cuddle and things like that. Strangely enough, I felt zero bitterness. Things actually were fine. Things were going really well, actually. I had no sign of anger, hatred, or resentment, and I could talk to either of them. But then things started to go wrong.